Weighing 160 pounds, Tyler Ulis is the lightest player in the NBA. On the other end, Taco Fall is the heaviest player in the NBA, coming in at 311 pounds. This gives a 151 pound difference between the two players, which is just absolutely crazy. So in today's video, we're going to be doing NBA teams based on weight. So here we are in NBA 2K20 right now. We have 11 different teams, and each team, everybody on the team is within a certain weight range. So starting off here, we have players that are under 180 pounds. I put them as 170 because most of the players are going to be 170 in the list, and then we have a few guys a little lighter like Tyler Ulis at 160. Starting off here, we got Chris Paul, Lou Williams, Mike Conley, John Morant, Dennis Schroeder, Darren Collison, Ish Smith, Shabazz Napier, Yogi Ferrell, Tim Frazier, Ian Clark, Tyler Ulis, Jemario Jones, and Jordan McRae. And then I had to put a 0 overall on the team as well, just because we didn't have enough players to fill up the entire roster. That's going to be our team of players that are going to be 179 pounds and under. Up next, we got players that are 180 pounds. So this is going to be players that weigh 180 anything. All of these are going to be weight ranges, so 180 to 189 is going to be on this team. Starting off here, we got Stephen Curry, Trae Young, Kemba Walker, De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Patrick Beverley, DeJounte Murray, Will Barton, Jeremy Lamb, Isaiah Thomas, Patty Mills, DeLon Wright, George Hill, Monte Morris, and Jamal Crawford. These are also 2K's weights, so if the weights are wrong, it's because of NBA 2K. I did not switch everything around because I don't know what everybody's actual weight is, so I just went off of 2K, and then whoever was the highest rated players at those weight made the team. Doesn't matter what position they were, it's all based on ratings, and if they were the highest, they made it on the team. Up next, we got our team of players weighing 190 pounds. We got Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, D'Angelo Russell, CJ McCollum, Kyle Lowry, Brandon Ingram, Andrew Wiggins, Ricky Rubio, Devontae Graham, Jeff Teague, Fred VanVleet, Otto Porter, Terry Rozier, Lonzo Ball, Colin Sexton, and that is going to be that team. Next up, we got players weighing 200 pounds. We got Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, Derrick Rose, Zach LaVine, Josh Richardson, Kelly Oubre Jr., Evan Fournier, Reggie Jackson, Robert Covington, Karis LeVert, JJ Redick, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Luke Kennard. Next, we got players weighing 210 pounds. We got Doncic, Klay Thompson, Donovan Mitchell, Victor Oladipo, John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, Jason Tatum, Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett, Spencer Dinwiddie, Marcus Morris, Gary Harris, Josh Okogie, Danny Green, and Taurean Prince. Next, we got players weighing 220 and up. We got James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, DeMar DeRozan, Chris Middleton, Tobias Harris, Malcolm Brogdon, Gordon Hayward, Bojan Bogdanovic, Buddy Hield, Marcus Smart, Kyle Kuzma, Jaylen Brown, TJ Warren, and Harrison Barnes. Next up, we got players weighing 230 and over. We got Jimmy Butler, Pascal Siakam, Draymond Green, John Collins, Gallinari, Marvin Bagley, Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, OG Anunoby, Belishka, John Holmes, Serge Ibaka, Rui Hachimura, Thaddeus Young, and PJ Washington. Next up, we got players weighing 240 pounds. We got Giannis, Kevin Durant, Kat, Porzingis, Ben Simmons, Al Horford, Clint Capella, Montrezl Harrell, Jaren Jackson Jr., Sabonis, Mitchell Robinson, Jarrett Allen, Jabari Parker, Zubac, and Lauri Markkanen. Then we got players weighing 250. We got LeBron and AD teaming up yet again. Then we got Blake Griffin, Rudy Gobert, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love, DeAndre Ayton, Bam, Paul Millsap, Miles Turner, Julius Randle, Tristan Thompson, Enes Kanter, Rudy Gay, and Eric Paschall. Next up, we got players weighing 260. We got Vucevic, Steven Adams, Hassan Whiteside, Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan, JV, Aaron Baines, Derek Favors, Myers Leonard, Andrew Bogut, Greg Monroe, Auntie Zizic, Alan Williams, Ian Mahinmi, and Caleb Swanigan. Mostly power forwards and centers on this entire team. And then our final team is going to be players weighing 270 pounds or over. And on this squad, we got Joel Embiid, Andre Drummond, Jokic, Joseph Nurkic, Wendell Carter Jr., Zion Williamson, DeMarcus Cousins, JaVale McGee, Brooke Lopez, Boban Marjanovic, Jahlil Okafor, Robin Lopez, Zaza Pachulia, Cristiano Felicio, and Taco Fall. Taco's Fall picture is a little messed up there, But that is going to be all our teams. And then what I've also done, if we go over to standings here, I have split up the teams by conference. In the West, we're going to have 6 of our teams. And then the East, we are going to have 5 of our teams. So I want you guys to leave your comment down below on which team you think is actually going to go ahead and win this. In my personal opinion, I think 240 is going to win. This team is just super stacked. I think they're going to do very good and end up winning here. They got a really nice mix of players as well, all different positions. I think they're going to do the best and end up taking home the W here. Leave your comment down below on which team you think is going to win. We're just going to simulate a season in my league and then simulate through the playoffs to see what squad ends up doing the best. All right, so we made it to the end of the season. We're going to check out the awards, and the stats don't really matter too much because a lot of the games, I forgot to mention this, the rest of the teams are a bunch of 0 overall, so it's just free wins for all of our teams that we do have, and then it's pretty much playoffs that determines what actually goes down. So let's just check out some of the awards right here. As you can see, the stats are just absolutely insane. One of these teams went 78-4. I'm not sure which one that was, though. I'm guessing it's either 250 or 240 that actually did the best. Those are all the NBA teams right there. Let's just go over here and check out our standings. So in the West, we got the team of 270 going 75-7, 250 with 71 wins. They had 210, 230, 190. And 170 doing the worst with 55 wins. Going over to the East, it was actually 220 doing the best. I mean, this is a pretty solid lineup. Harden, Paul George, Kawhi. You got the 2 Clippers players coming together here on the Clippers, which actually makes that kind of funny. We got 240 with 77, 260, 200, and then 180 doing the worst with 6. It looks like the lighter team's not doing as good. And surprisingly, the heaviest team does the best right here with 75 wins in the West. So a bunch of our teams are going to actually get buys. We're going to have a few matchups in the first round. The first, second, and third seed will get a bye in the East. And then we got 200 pounders facing off against 180. And then in the West, the first and second team getting the seed, 210 versus 170, 230 versus 190. Let's just get right into the simulation and find out what goes down in this first round. Our first W of the first round going to go to 210, taking down 170 with a nice little 4-0 sweep. 230 beats 190 4-1. And then our final 2 teams facing off, we got 200 versus 180. Let's see who's going to move out of the second round here. And 180 with an upset right there. So in our semifinals, we got 220 versus 180, 240 versus 260, 270 versus 230, and 250 versus 210. Our first W is going to go to the 220 pounders. They get a 4-0 sweep against the 180 pound players, up by 20 with only 28 seconds left in the game. 250 pounders going to get a 4-1 victory over the 210 pound players, up by 20 in game number 5 right here. They're going to be moving on to the next round. In game number 5, the 240 pound players with a huge blow against the 260 pound players, and they are going to win this series 2, and they're going to win the series 4-1. And our closest series so far, the 230 pound players are going to win 4-2 against the 270 pound players, and that is going to be our final game. We now have our semi-final teams. So in our conference finals now, in the East, we're going to have the 220 pound players facing off against the 240 pound players, and in the West, the 250 pound players facing off against the 230 pound players. Shout out if you did end up picking any of these teams. Let's find out who's going to make the NBA Finals. Let's just get into a simulation right here. The 240 pound players with a 3-0 lead over the 220 pound players. And the 240 pound players going to get a 4-0 sweep here. Not even close. 240 was the team I ended up picking to go ahead and win this thing. They make the NBA Finals quite easily right here, despite 220 actually being the higher seed. Hopping into the other side of the bracket, 250 up 2-1 against the 230 pounders. 230 pounders tied up 2-2. 230 pounders taking a 3-2 lead. And the 230 pound players are going to get the W here. They are going to be our second team moving on to the NBA Finals. So it is going to be the 230 pounders facing off against the 240 pounders in the finals. But it was crazy. The 4 conference finalists here were actually all around the same weight. We had 220, 230, 240, and 250. It's kind of funny how that ended up playing out right here, but a 4-2 victory for the 230 pounders. Huge shout out if you picked one of the teams to make the NBA Finals. Let's just get into the simulation here and find out which is the best weight class in the NBA. 240 pounders with a 3-1 lead right here. And a pretty close game number 5, but it looks like the 240 pounders are going to go ahead and take the 6-point lead. Looking like they are going to end up winning this one. We'll watch the final minute and a half right here to find out what happened. See if the 230 pounders can maybe come back. They get an 8-second violation. That always happens when you actually go ahead and start watching some of these games. Does not make a lot of sense. But the 240 pounders with the ball right here. We got Durant with the ball coming inside. Mid-range shot is no good, but Montrezl Harrell almost with that and one. That would have been pretty crazy. But some pretty good squads right here. I mean, this 240 squad is ridiculous with the star players they have. They got KD, Giannis, and Karl Anthony Towns, which is pretty insane. Let's see if these 230 pounders can come back. OG Anunoby in the corner, wide open. That is no good, though. Almost had that Raptor to Raptor connection. Here's Durant with the ball in the post against Jimmy Butler. He's going to fade away. That is no good. They are not hitting shots in the final seconds right here. Jimmy Butler inside. Draymond Green from 3. That's no good either. Nobody can hit a shot. Jabari Parker inside, and finally somebody gets a shot to fall. A 9-point lead for the 240 pounders. So it looks like they're going to take this one nice and easily right here, and they are going to be our NBA champions. Siakam with a nasty 3, though. Down by 6 with 12 seconds. I just don't think they're coming back at this point. They're going to start fouling, but I do not think they can come back. I mean, this 240-pound team was just too overpowered. It looks like the best players in the NBA are 240 pounds. At least they have the most best players, if that makes sense at all. I don't mean to brag, but I actually did predict that they would win. And shout out to anybody else that also predicted that 240 pounds was going to win. Let's find out who's going to get Finals MVP. You can just check out how stacked that team is just by looking at this picture right here. I also forgot they had Ben Simmons on the squad, but Giannis is going to get Finals MVP, which is not a surprise at all. I mean, Giannis gets it every time he gets MVP, and usually Finals MVP if he does end up winning. Here's Giannis's stats, almost getting a triple-double, 19.6 points, 11 rebounds, and 9.8 assists, almost a triple-double in the finals. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. There is the final bracket, everything that did go on in the playoffs. But that's going to be it for today. If you did enjoy the video, make sure that you do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. We're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the